Alright guys, just introducing the Noob-a-tron 2000 Super Grinder. Actually, marketing department wouldn't let me call it that. We're actually calling it the Shopmaster to go with the Shopmate, which was the Noob grinder. This is a 72-inch grinder, or 1,830mm belt size. It runs a 2 horsepower motor and takes all the accessories as our Noob grinder and so forth did. Shopmate grinder, terribly sorry. Again, marketing department, don't blame me. Few words on safety when using a grinder. You need to wear dust protection. I'm not going to do that today because I'll be speaking, but you do need to wear dust protection. You need to make sure you stay away from the pinch points. Remove your tie, particularly. Ties can be very bad for grinding. Make sure you wear clothing that's non-flammable, or that if it burns isn't going to stick to your skin, so your cottons, and as you can see I'm wearing wool today. There we go, good piece of kit, made out of a solid piece of 10mm steel, very heavy duty, and these can be bought currently on the bulk buy on Gameco Artisan Supplies bulk buys and clearance sales for a discounted rate. Obviously, by the time you're watching this video down the track, maybe that will have finished, and I'm sorry about that, but stay tuned to the Facebook page and for other great deals. Alright, so what we're going to do today, we're just going to do a little bit of basic knife making, have a bit of a crack and show some of the features of the grinder. What I have here is a piece of 1075, it's not mild steel, and we've traced a little knife here on this blade. The first thing I'm going to do, I'll profile that, and then we'll have a look at how we grind bevels. So, without further ado, let's hook in. Now obviously, as you saw there, I'm grinding on the very edge of the belt. We're pushing on the edge of the belt. This grinder has amazing tracking, and it holds that very, very well. We're coming on the other side. Away we go, we'll come around the back here. Same deal, just track the belt slightly over the plating. And I'm just going rough here. We'll just come in the back side. And then we'll just trim it off. Tidy up the tail. And there we go, we've got our rough profile done. For the next part of it, I'll drop out the tool rest. And I might demonstrate. Alright, so for the next part I'm going to take out the tool rest and I'll just demonstrate how you can flip the grinder over. This is using the optional flipping tool post. We'll just put in our adjustable tool rest, lock that in place, and now I'll be able to get nice long lines and straight edges. So let's get into that. A little bit more. There we go, we've removed all of our rough grind marks. We'll come around and pick this one up. Nice and easy. Let's do the back side. There we go, job done. Now, for my next trick, what we'll do, we'll just reset the grinder to get into, oh there, it's in the bucket. Everyone else do that as well, look at that. Into here, because this has got to be tidied up. So we're going to use the 50mm wheel that comes on the grinder. This 5-inch wheel doesn't come as a stock bit of kit, but that can be purchased separately. On the standard grinder you get a 3-inch wheel and a 2-inch wheel, so 75mm and 50mm. What I'm going to do, I'll just lengthen out the tool arm a little bit, bring that around there, like so. And get our tool rest. I can get that a bit tidier. Wait a second. Bring that around. That'll be fine. Got enough tool rest there now. You can use a 1.3 or 123 block to just check that you're square. This tool rest can be just easily moved around so that you're nice and square. And get the blade and check tension's good. There we go. Blade paint. So this isn't mild steel, I might have said that already, but this is 3.2mm thick, and as you can see I've profiled that in a matter of really minutes. So let's go back now and have a look at the grinding bevels. So I'm just going to drop this belt off. That was a 40 grit blaze belt, really fantastic belt. We're going to get a 50 grit blaze, which I've carefully prepared and put on the floor here. Like that, chuck it on. This one here can come around, like so, and away we go. So, what you'd normally do is mark where you want your bevels to finish on the blade, and mark your centre line, and then you grind to the centre line. I'm just going to do a rough demonstration. But what I really want to show you is that you do not need to use jigs to grind your knife, particularly with a proper variable speed 2x72 grinder with good tracking. So first thing I'm going to do is to set a speed where I'm happy with that the grinder is not running too fast. If I'm running too fast, when I present the knife to it, it's just going to eat into it like you saw before. I want it to actually have to push to eat into it. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. And that's about just over halfway on the machine. First thing I'm going to do is grind a 45 degree, working to an imaginary centre line. So I'm still away from the centre line, but most importantly, I've got a flat. Now from this point on, this isn't grinding, all right? This is just touching the belt. I'm going to put, see that? I'm going to go up to the belt and I'm going to find that flat with my fingers. Right, there we are. Once I find that flat, I'm going to torque the knife down so the flat starts creeping up the blade. Like so. You can see the edge here, I've not even touched it because I'm torquing that way, just using my thumb. Didn't get on the flat properly. And then it comes down to a matter of personal preference as to how far you take that. and it's just, there's no point. By the time you set up a jig, you're never going to get a grind as good as you can do by freehanding, particularly when the blade's got high curves and things in it. Notice how I stayed way away from the ricasso. I'll come back to the ricasso in a minute. For that, I'll be using a J-Flex belt at 120 grit. So, I'm going to go in now and do the other side. Now, we're close to matching there. We've come down to an edge that's about 1/2 mil. It's pretty close. I'm going to go down to a finer grit now. So we're going to just get on a J-Flex belt. My preference would probably be something like this here, Hermes J-Flex. Actually, there's another step here that's being missed, and that is to go to 100 grit. I'd normally go to 100 blaze or 120 blaze to clean those big scratches out of the knife and to tidy it up and even it. For the purpose of the video, I'm going to skip that and just use this. Not a good use of belts, but I'm not paying for it, so not my problem. So again, we're just going to find our flat and run into the corner and just tidy up that grind. Do that on both sides. And now it comes to notice how I'm not wearing gloves, alright? I'm feeling the temperature of the steel with my fingers, and I'm just tidying up that to get it even on both sides. Next thing I'm going to do is to grind my first plunge line where it's going to finish. So we're going to come off the grinder a bit there, and we're going to grind in and out. Now there's an old saying that knife makers don't make mistakes, they just make smaller knives, and you can buy the t-shirt from us. This one might just get a little bit smaller. I've got to watch the 2-inch mark, so we've got to come in like so and make sure that we don't muck it up. We just keep coming closer and closer to where we want to finish. We're starting to get a nice curve on the ricasso. Now I've tracked that J-Flex belt off the edge there. And that's pretty nice. So I'm going to go back to the offhand and finish that one. Just to tidy up the two faces. Make sure they're even. Needs a little bit more work on the offside, just in this little part here. Anyway, for the purpose of the exercise though, a knife is ground, needs to be drilled and heat treated. You can also go around obviously and in a horizontal or vertical position, get all your edges finished to the 120 grit before moving to the next grit. But the most important thing, you'll see my plunge lines down here are nice and even. I've probably gone a little bit too close to the edge in the hurry to get a video made. In that case, what you can do is just a bit of this action, just for your heat treating if you're worried about that, and just take a little bit off. Again, it's not a mistake, it's just a slightly smaller knife. Yeah, but gives you a bit of an idea. As I said, grind your offside first and then go to your onside's a better option. And yeah, that's this grinder. Gives you a bit of an idea how to make a knife on it. I've been asked to include in the video specifically how the grinder tracks in reverse. A lot of people like to sharpen in this orientation, so I'll show you that. The grinder runs in reverse, as you can see. We just adjust the tracking there. This will be obviously post heat treat. We're going to come in, and I'm just using no support there between these two wheels. And we're just going to put our final edge on it. Now, obviously post heat treat, you're going to want to run as slow as possible and keep the blade as cool as possible so it doesn't get hot at all. But as you can see, the grinder tracks perfectly in reverse. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. If you like the video, hit like, and we can go from there. I know it's not my best grinding job, but it gives you an idea of how the machine works, and you can hook into it. The rotating plating, just to run through that, you do have a slack belt system on that, so you can come around to here, lock that off. When it comes to do your handle, you've now got a slack belt. So if you want to get these curves here done on that, you can do that also. Speed it up a little bit. And that removes any faceting. The other thing you can do on a slack belt is convex grind. So we could turn this grind pretty easy into a convex. So obviously you do this with a slightly coarser belt, but just for the purpose of the exercise. And we can convex the grind up now so that it runs as a curve and comes down to a tougher edge that's good at busting out materials if you're making a big chopping knife or something. Maybe for the last demo, I'm going to spin this around, put it all back together, lock that up. I'll just demonstrate how to get that nice and square against the tool rest. You might be doing this for fabrication or just to make sure that when you grind your profiles, everything's nice and square. We can put the belt on first, back on our 40 grit. Oops, there we go. And we can come in now. Tension on the belt. The further down, the further forward you move your arm, the further down this is, the less the tension on the belt. So if you're doing handles, you can get it nice and sloppy or further out. That's a nice little feature of this grinder. In this case though, we can't tap the grinder with this tool rest because it is fixed. So we're just going to set it, put our 1, 2, 3 block up against it, and then we can adjust the angle here. That was pretty much spot on. But we can adjust the angle up here and make sure we're nice and square. We got no light coming through like that. Perfect. I'm going to take a bit of 5160. It's tough steel, full of chromium. This particular piece here is 1/4 inch thick, 6mm thick. And we'll just have a bit of a look at how it eats that.